Good after evening noon, as Vince V6LK would say, or just good evening to us, and good afternoon to Walt there, and everyone that came over from Ham Radio Dude Stream. Welcome, everyone. We're here. We're going to talk about how to make time for ham radio in your busy life, and I think we picked the right topic because I guess all of us have a hard time making time for ham radio or any hobby for that sake. For me, it's been a really busy couple of weeks, and it's going to be busy next week with both personal stuff and work stuff. So I got to just use whatever moments I have, but we'll get back to that later on. Bob, how's your ham radio week been?
I was just taken aback by the fact that you opened up with today's topic, and you seem to be staying on topic from the first second of the show.
I'm very confused.
I need to recover from the confusion for a bit, and my ham radio week has been crap because my health. No, that sounded too dire. I've had a cold.
Sounded 80 meters.
Yeah, I've had a god awful cold all week, and basically it's just starting to clear up. So I tried to do a summit today, and it turns out that I'm not really quite over it yet. So I got about the 1/3 of the way up, and decided that I'm not going to cough my way to the top of this mountain. Turn back, and so basically no radio this week.
Well, you had some radio time with me though on 2 meters after you got back.
That is true. I spoke to you on a repeater, on a couple of repeaters, and I also spoke to Lima Bravo 3 Hotel Charlie. He was testing the new Quansheng, is that the way we pronounce it? Radio with the new firmware from some summit nearby. So that's the extent of my radio this week. I think that's really sad. I think that's the least amount of radio I've played since I got my license in a complete week.
But then we got the right topic for today, though. We gotta give you some tips and some pointers on how to make time for radio.
It's not been time that's lacking. It's been health. We can do that next week.
Yeah,
the 80 meter health tips for old hams.
I actually have an idea for next week, and we'll get to that later in the show. Or I didn't have the idea, but we have over on our Discord, hamshow.eu/Discord. We have this channel called Stream Ideas, and we got a couple of good ideas there. So I thought we might pick up on some of those. Walt, you've been making weird antennas this week.
I'm having fun. It's been a good week. To stay on topic somewhat, I'm kind of settling in. Working, if you notice, working from home now. So when I'm done quicker in the afternoon, I'm not driving an hour home or whatever. So I'm putting time into my ham radio. So I built a really cool square loop. That antenna was awesome. Played around with some ham sticks yesterday into V formation, and that wasn't too awesome. But last Tuesday night, I finally my club has started a CW class. So I went to school. I went to class Tuesday night working on my CW skills. So that's been my week. And guys, sorry I've missed you a couple weeks. I tell you what, the spring is coming. The weather's getting really, really nice here, and you guys are 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening there. It's like 3 in the afternoon here, and when the wife says we're going there, I'm like, okay. And then I usually get on there and go, hey, Morton, I'm not going to make it. and that's a part of we'll talk about it later. That's one of the big parts about making time for ham radio is you can't let it come between you and everyone else around you. You got to kind of make that time count for you, for sure. So I try not to. My wife's real awesome and supportive about it, but we'll talk about that later. That's the subject. Other than that, everything's cool. Like I said, my ham radio week has been that, and it's been a good week. The band conditions over here on the eastern seaboard of the United States have been really good this past week. So and that was the other thing I do. I don't know if you can see while I'm working there. That's my Yaesu FT891. I can be working away and cut that bad boy on and just kind of listen in sometimes. And occasionally I multitask while I'm working. So I hope nobody I work for is watching this video, but there you go.
That's great. That's great. We got a new one in the chat here. Renee from Denmark, welcome. And he's going PODA tomorrow. So that's going to be great. 9 o'clock UTC. I guess 80 meters should be good for us to reach Denmark, though, at least us Europeans here. So, Tobias, no videos from you, but I think you've done a lot of Meshtastic stuff this week, haven't you?
Yeah, I blame it all on Ringway Manchester. Sorry, that was a typo from your mobile phone, yeah, and it somehow stuck. Yeah, as you can see, if you look at my desk, I have a few pictures. You can enlarge me.
Yeah, let me
begin
you. Let's swap you around and do some of that.
Now I'm spot one. That's good.
Yeah, and
Okay,
since you're in
so,
spot one,
yeah,
I can do this.
So as you know, I got the 2 Heltec devices, and I thought, okay, what the heck? It also needs GPS, so I got the 2 GPS devices. And there's also 2, temperature, pressure sensors, and it all has to somehow fit into this case. So yeah, that was basically my weekend, you know, soldering and wiring that all up, and somehow getting it into this tiny little case, and it's not easy. So if you are not skilled with the soldering iron, get one of these E-beam thingies where the GPS and the sensors are already in. That's my advice. But anyway, it was fun, and yeah, it seems to work. And then I found a fellow OM on the Meshtastic Discord server, and he had problem with his Heltec device. So he asked me to have a look on mine with the tiny SA and see how much power comes out of it. And the slight drawback of the tiny SA is it does not come calibrated with the high frequency input. So this is not calibrated, but as you can see, it says 23 dBm. So maybe, I don't know, minus 3 dB, maybe around 20 dBm.
Yeah.
Because the tiny SA is not calibrated, and in order to have the high frequency input accurate, you need an external signal generator, and I don't have one. So yeah, that was more or less my ham radio week or ham radio weekend. And yeah, I would say happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. That's why we are green today.
Yeah. And let's put Bob back in the driver's seat here.
I actually saw a meme today, Tobias, that on social media that said, on St. Patrick's Day, everyone is Irish except for Germans. Germans are Germans. That's what it said.
No booze. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I gotta say, as long as we're noticing the differences between Germans and other people, I looking at your project there, Tobias, I wouldn't have to know you to know that was made by a German. It's just extremely tidy. So really, really impressive. When I do a prototype, there's wires going everywhere. So very, very nice work. That's I guess that's a flip side. If you can't be Irish, then at least you can be tidy.
Yeah, but you don't know how my bin looks like with failed 3D prints and stuff. So it was a bit of a chore.
Yeah, nice work. Yeah,
Walt's got the meme up here on his iPad. Let's see if I can click the button here and show it for everyone.
Yep.
No difference. Every day is like that.
My German friend put that up there. I thought it was pretty cool. So
yeah, Kjetil, speaking about Germans, you've been researching on.
No, I've been hiding from them.
Yeah,
yesterday,
I was gonna say don't mention the war.
No, I'm not. Yesterday I had an epic hike. Like, there's a place between here and the cabin that has a sign going up to a cave, and I've been driving past there for 10 years or 8 years while I've been living here in Western Norway and never taken that hike. So yesterday I walked up there, That turned out to be a World War II resistance hideout where they used to send radio messages in and out from Britain. So I went up there and I made a video about how to do a check-in form for WinLink exercises. Really natural to do that in that kind of cave. But that's an amazing place, like a huge cave under a like house-sized boulder. So there's a video coming up on that quite soon.
And I just got to say, I've seen your video on it. That's one of the perks of having a closed channel on our Discord. I've seen your YouTube video, and it's really good.
Yeah, thanks. It is a stunning location, and yeah, just fun to visit. But then again, I drove 1 hour to get there. I hiked for 1 hour, and then the same back again to send one mail in WinLink. That's all I had time for. But like the
Some
hike is the objective.
hard-earned bites.
Yeah, like the hike is the objective. Like going there for a trip, that's the fun part. It's not the radio. Like with a failed SOTA activation. Otherwise, I went to the beach. I did a failed POTA. Beach radio on the beach, vertical antenna usually works really well. 2 QSOs with 100 watts output on 20 meters. I can't comprehend what was wrong, but I wasn't heard. And I could almost not hear anybody. Like, it was so strange. And then going on to the topic for this week, I got stuck in traffic. A bus driver, he found out like the car in front of him, he thought that didn't exist. So he didn't brake when the car in front of him stopped, which then gridlocked the entire system, which is already chaos. So at that time, I was stuck right next to a POTA preserve. So I just parked the car and went out activating. And when I was done, the cars were gone. So that was really nice.
That is a great tip.
Yeah, and other than that, some meetings. Did a lot of testing with Polo, the logger. I've seen you've been doing that as well. And I actually went to Echolink today for the first time in ages. I saw November 2 Mike Alpha Kilo's video about Echolink on the web, and joined some weird joined some net over in the Puget Sound in Washington. Over 2 meters, just randomly checking with LB4FH. So
You know,
yeah.
you can install CQ on Echolink too now. They have the CQ button, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, so that was really fun, and so I thought I didn't do much radio this week, but I did.
And I see Tim's got a comment here: how to make time for ham radio, get divorced, or change your identity and move. But I got a question, Arrow. If you change your identity, will you have to change your call sign then? Will you have to take the test again?
I don't know, but Tim hasn't been married as long as me. I've been married for almost 40 years. My wife's like, yeah, go ahead. It's like...
Yeah, my suggestion is to adopt what is known as dad humor in huge amounts. Then the XYL will just say, "Yeah, go ahead, do your radio."
And we had a little breakdown on the channel this week. Not breakthrough. We passed 400 subscribers.
We did. Awesome. And you have something that you want to give away for that. We can do that before we go to me.
Yeah, and this one. Yeah, I forgot you, Martin. Sorry. You talked in the start of the video. This book, Portable Antennas for Everyone. I got 2 copies of this one. So we're giving this one away. A brand new book, shipped anywhere in the world. Yeah, if you want it, add some random word that Martin is fixing into the.
I will do that in a while. And speaking about giveaways, I saw that the Magloop has reached its destination in Texas.
Awesome.
I haven't heard back from the other people that have won, but let me know if the package is there or not. I sent it as a letter, so there's no tracking on those packages.
Yeah.
So let me know if it's there or not. If not, I'll have to do some investigations. Besides that, my week, it's been a busy week, not radio wise. But yeah, I don't remember if I did any POTA on Monday. I had Monday off, but I started to reorganize the shack again. And I had this little screen, 7-inch screen running ham clock, and that eBay screen failed. And that was not really a good thing because I figured I got a 22-inch screen in the basement. Tried to reorganize the shack to fit that. Could not make that happen, but changed the furniture around, changed the radios around, changed everything around. So basically my shack is a mess now, but it's starting to come together. Then I had some work, a lot of work actually. Went out, did the Polo today. I'm going to share my screen here because I had something amazing happening to me. Let's see here. Find the right one here. This was 17 meters today. Everywhere from West Virginia to Japan. It was my first Japan on voice.
Congratulations.
And I had the camera on my dashboard in the car, but I was done filming my videos, so I turned the camera off.
Oh, that's so typical.
That is so typical. So, but I got my first phone with Japan, and that was awesome. But look at that spread. It was basically DX heaven today on 17 meters.
How much power do you run?
100 watts.
Oh, nice.
And a ham stick.
That's so fun. And also that the Uniform Alpha 9 guy, he's always, when you hear him, that's always a good sign for DX to the east.
Yeah. And I mean, I used a ham stick for this, and my next best DX on a 17 meter ham stick was China. So there's nothing wrong with using a ham stick. Besides that, I've been playing around with Polo. As you have, Kjetil, I released a video on Polo on Monday that took off in a way that I did not know was possible for a video to do.
Yeah, I expected that was going to happen for your.
It was a wild ride, and I see that, I think that's part of why we have over 400 subs on our channel at the moment.
Yeah, and it's been on the front page of QRZ all week.
Yeah, being on the front page of QRZ, that is some kind of ego trip. That is just amazing.
Awesome. If you're not Tank Radio and you're on the front page of that, you've done something, because all 11 of his videos are always on there. So and
as a follow-up, there's a video coming tomorrow, but if you're a member of my channel, you can watch it right now. A follow video from the activation I showed on the map, just showing how to use Polo in real time.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of updates to that program. It's like seeing that progress is amazing.
It's a total different logger than it was a week ago. So that is amazing. And I think that's pretty much my ham radio week. On a side note, I'm looking for tips on how to make ham radio my day job, because I am in the process of what Bob called a lifestyle change, or they're reducing the number of employees at my work. They're downsizing. So last one in, first one out, and all that. So if any of you guys have any tips on how to make ham radio my day job, I will welcome those tips.
Wow.
And
really
well,
if you get an excess of tips in that regard, I'll take the ones you don't need, because that sounds really nice, actually.
And please don't suggest ham radio YouTube, because there is no way you can make that your daytime job.
You're going to be on government assistance for the rest of your life.
So, but I have some
rave a lot more about very bad radios then, and get lots of sponsorships. You don't want to do that either.
No, I don't want to do that either. But I'm looking for something that's not a management position, that is close by and pays really well.
So only these three criterions. Everything else
only these three criterias. And Tim just
only fans.
I had some hope in that regard, but I guess no, I won't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, but do you want a job where you don't have to work either? Just get the money, right?
Yeah, only money and the ability to actually play radio a lot.
Yeah, I posted a link to you on Discord. Push you to that, but not for now. For later.
Yeah, that we can do that later on. But do we have a YouTube channel to recommend this week?
Oh,
anyone?
Did we plan this?
We did not plan this. We do not have. If you guys talk, I'll pull up my YouTube.
I'll tell you honestly, it's not European though. But I found I kind of remember his name, like Florida Ham Radio guy or whatever. Have you guys seen that guy?
No.
He's interesting. He really is. I just discovered him a couple days ago. I remember.
Let's see.
You know, I have an idea, actually. There's a Norwegian living quite close to me that does some interesting stuff both with SDR and CW.
Well,
LB3 LB3SA, is that?
Yeah, you can share your screen then. So
let's see if I can find this YouTube channel.
And actually, my YouTube is kind of broken, or I don't think it's broken. It's just the algorithm that works, because when I flipped down on my Apple TV this afternoon, I had a category called audio tapes with just a lot of videos on vintage tape players.
Yeah.
I don't know if that says something about me, but
I think that's far from the worst thing that can happen in your suggestions.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can show that, maybe at least. That's an awfully long name, but tech stuff and more. It's called.
Would you like me to share a screen here?
Yeah, you can do that. He's a really nice guy. He's a member of my club, and he does quite a bit of interesting stuff. Not all ham radio, but yeah.
Is he the guy that made the Raspberry Pi SDR transceiver?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
So I was hoping at some point we might try and get him on to talk about CW, because he does he has an interest in that as well. So
yeah, and I'm just gonna embiggen the screen here a little bit. I've rearranged my shack, so my keyboard is kind of more behind the microphone than usual. And I'm gonna show you how to subscribe. You click this button here. You get a little bit of fireworks, and you're subscribed.
That's hard.
Yeah.
It's a really good channel. I came across that a little while ago, or a good while ago. I was looking to purchase a radio, and he had a video on that radio. So, and I didn't really know he was Norwegian until quite a while into the video.
He's got the same problem as you. He picked up his English skills in Canada, so it's kind of difficult to hear at first.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, on to today's topic. After only 23 minutes, we've done something wrong today.
Yep.
I want to go off topic for one quick second, Morten. If you
Me
don't mind.
too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to
go off topic, both of you, because we need to make up some time.
Okay,
Come on, Walt, you first.
I want to thank somebody that's watching right now in the chat, John N0BTY. He sent me this. This is a 9-to-1 Ballon. So John, thank you so much. Boy, I've got like 10 different ideas I want to do with it. It's not an it's a Ballon, a 9-to-1 Ballon from it's actually made by BH4 DDF. So John, you're the man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That was kind of unexpected, and I got that in the mail from John. So thank you. I really I thanked you but by email, but I wanted to say it in person. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I just remembered that I also did a Polo this week with hamsticks on a nature preserve in Tønsberg. I got to do that on Friday, and I played 12 meters, 15 meters, 17 meters, and 20 meters with the hamsticks. That was fun. I think we spoke about this briefly, Morten. You said that 12 meters, it's the band that there's almost never anyone on, but as soon as you start calling CQ, then they just crawl out of the woodwork. And yeah, that happened. It's a very nice activation. So at least I did one proper radio thing this week. And also, I'm making progress on CW. I'm up to 19 characters now that I can decode, if there's sufficient space between them. That's of course the problem, but so pretty much halfway through the things that I need to learn to start practicing doing it at actual line speed, as we say.
Awesome.
You're 12 characters ahead of me.
What?
You're about 12 characters ahead of me. I'm at about 7 characters right now. I just started pretty much.
I am way behind both of you. So
Yeah, but we'll make this work. Sometimes within this year, I think we should all be, or at least some of us, be on the wetware version of FT8. So,
Yeah. The manual FT8.
The cool thing my club is doing is those of us that are in the class, we're going to do a local net on 10 meters in CW. So we know and we'll be texting as we're doing it. So we know okay, I'm up now, and then the other person, everybody knows, try to copy each other to make QSOs to get up and running that way. So it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, we've been
Awesome.
talking about doing that as around here as well. And Morten, you should join in on that as well if you do that around here.
I actually put my old summer camp FT221 all-mode 2-meter radio up on the desk when I reorganized the shack. It's a boat anchor, but it does CW on 2 meters. So that is awesome. And Nemesis got a question here. He's new here and wants to know what tools we are using to learn CW.
Yeah, I'll go first. Morse Code Ninja. Ninja, that would be in English. Morse Code Ninja. It's a YouTube channel. You can listen to videos, different format, different. He has an awful lot of videos. Yeah, do a search for Morse Code Ninja, and he can explain the different ways that you can use his videos. That's not. It's not for everyone, but for me, that means that whenever I have downtime, if I drive the car, if I'm just relaxing, I can just put on one of these videos and start practicing copying. So for me, that works. Seem to be working very well.
Yeah,
that's my suggestion.
It's also available as a podcast.
Cool. I'm doing a little bit different route myself. I'm using an app on my phone called Morse Toad. It's a game, and so it's a lot of fun. It makes it fun that way. I'm learning to basically by ear to receive. With this app. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. So it's called Morse Toad.
Yep. I use an app called Morse Mania and also use Morse Code Ninja. I do a bit of commuting by train, and just listening to code while on the train actually helps a little bit.
Do you ever, when you're sitting on the train, do you ever catch yourself saying C, D, Q out loud?
I haven't done it yet, but
since the passengers,
since you have mentioned it, that might happen. And I actually, on Wednesday, I'll be spending 8 hours on a train going to the northwestern part of Norway or central western part of Norway. Then I'm going to stay at that place for 24 hours and spend another 8 hours by train going home. But I'm bringing my family, so I guess there won't be much time for code there.
Dad jokes. Do the dad jokes for a solid 2 hours. They'll beg you to do CW for the last 6.
That is probably a great idea, actually.
Yeah, just don't tell anyone I suggested it.
So, on to the topic. We're getting closer to topic time now. But I've been thinking a lot about this. I'll go first since I'm already talking. Otherwise, I won't be able to say what I'm planning to say because you guys will just go ahead of me and we'll be out of time. Because I got one simple solution, and that's always have a bag packed with a radio and some gear in your car, some antennas, a mag mount, and a freshly charged battery. That is my method of doing that. Last Saturday, I started work an hour later than usual. So I left home the same time and stopped by a park and did a quick activation while going to work.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
And having the gear packed and not having to pack that, it also it gives you the option to go out when there's a break in the rain, for example. If you know it's not going to rain for the next hour, you can just run out the door and go activating something. So good thing to have.
And you can have twice as many radios because one's always in the back, right?
There you go.
And another hint there is to know your area. So, like, for example, when I got stuck in traffic, knowing that there's a POTA preserve in there, a POTA reference, or knowing that there's a summit nearby that you can activate or something like that. So for me, I do a lot of driving, long driving. So I always check along the routes where I can stop. Where is there a simple summit I can go up to, or a simple POTA area I can stop in and do an activation? Because that's a natural break when you're out driving, and you're so refreshed afterwards.
I find
Absolutely. I'm just I'm doing some unplanned stuff here because talking about having your gear packed, I actually had one of my kits in the shelf after reorganizing the shack here, so we'll get back to that later on.
Yeah. Can you add some giveaway word when you get to it, Morten?
Giveaway word, yes.
Can I make a suggestion?
Look,
The dude sent me.
Shamrock, no.
The dude. Let's keep it simple because I think I've been keeping it a little bit too complicated the last couple of times.
Book is usable for most people in here, I think.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but like when you're thinking about everyday radio, not overdoing it is really important. Like being able to go out and do a simple activation, or at least for me, combining it with dinner or something like that. Then again, I'm the only one here without kids and family or stuff, or at least one of the very few in here. So for me, it's I'm free to eat dinner outdoors if I want to. I guess you can't always bring your kids out to do that.
Actually, bringing your kids to do ham radio outdoors, that is a little bit tough.
Asking for trouble, or?
Yeah, that is. But then again, also one of my suggestions is actually just keeping the keyword is book by the way. I'm gonna remove the screen here, but you know how to make banners, Bob. So how about you make a banner for that?
Yeah, and for the ones that, if somebody's new here, this is the book we're giving away, sending anywhere in the world for free.
I was not paying attention. What should I make a banner for?
That the keyword is #book in order to win.
Oh,
And bringing having one of these in your everyday carry also makes it possible to do a little bit of ham radio.
Yeah, then you talk with yourself and don't get replies from anybody, but that's nice sometimes as well.
It depends on where you are. I had a chat with Bob today.
Yeah. So like making time for it, or something else, just sit down and repairing your kit or preparing your kit, make a new antenna, something like that. Spend a few minutes. That's also ham radio in your busy life.
Absolutely.
And sitting there building something, at least for me, that's kind of what do you call it? Therapy.
Soldering stuff is pure therapy for at least for me.
That's the solder smoke, Morten. That's the smoke doing that to you.
Yes, it's actually been a lot better since I got hold of leaded solder.
Exactly.
I have a two-sided approach to my time with ham radio. Being a YouTuber and trying to put out content, I have things I have planned. Like right now, I have 4 or 5 different antennas I want to build and play with or whatever. So I kind of put them on the to-do list or whatever. But I enjoy that a whole lot. But I think what I really enjoy most is just having a radio here at home in a home QTH. And when I feel like it, I go cut the radio on. When I don't feel like it, I don't. And those moments, to me, being a non-YouTuber ham, just being a ham and playing around on the radio without the camera rolling or whatever, that is really enjoyable, unplanned, and do it. So I think having a radio, having, and we all do, having a radio there, that kind of is very satisfying. I mean, like, take, for instance, the week before last or so, morning time, I took a break and pick up my phone, and I see Tim G5TM is streaming live. So I'm sitting right next to the radio, cut the radio on. I hear him. We make a QSO on this, and that was just fun time. So sometimes is to me is like the part of ham radio where I don't make time for, I don't plan. It just kind of organically happens because I have something right here to do. I enjoy that. Another thing I'm getting ready to do, and I want to get it done before I go to Dayton. I'm going to drive to Dayton in May for a Hamvention, and that's a little over 8-hour drive. So in my Jeep, I'm going to put a VHF, UHF setup, and probably like a 10 meter or something that I could take antennas off and on. I'll probably keep it on 10 and run the G90 or something on it, or 11 meter rig that I have on it or whatever while I'm riding down the highway. So that'll be another thing. Just having something permanently in my vehicle will be kind of cool too. So yeah, it's kind of like, I think I don't want to say enjoy more, because boy, I have a lot of fun with when I'm planning and the camera's rolling, doing a video. But the moments where I'm just me being a ham and not worrying about, whether the camera's on, it's off, I mean, did I get that or whatever, just being a ham. I enjoy those unplanned moments.
And I agree to what you're saying there, Walt, because being a YouTuber or ham tuber, it's kind of a double-edged sword though, because in one way you kind of you get to experience stuff, you have to experiment, you have to come up with ideas, but you miss out on some of the organic experiences, as you're talking about though. So it's important to make time for those, and I rarely have those out portable, but I usually have those in the shack, because I don't usually film while I'm in the shack.
Right.
And if you have the space and room available to have a shack at home, that is something that'll make you, if you have 10-15 minutes to spare, you can sit down in your shack and you can spin the dial. At least if
my home shack is just a wire into the window, and then I'll put the G90 on it. I'll put the FX4CR on it. All the stuff I use portable, that's just what I use at home. And that kind of, I like that as well. It's kind of fun.
And go ahead, Chetan.
I don't have a home shack. So for me, like all radio is outdoors, or without, like, except for this 2 meter thing. So that's something I really miss. I used to have a club station very close, so I used to go there. But I also totally agree that if you're making videos or if you're taking photos or anything like that out doing portable radio, then do some activations or trips every now and then without the camera. Just go there, sit there and enjoy the nature, enjoy the radio, because it kind of gets in there. Same as, like, I used to do a lot of concert photography back in the days, like a lot of it. And now I can't go to a concert without thinking, like, where should I line up for a shot? Like, where's the good lighting and so on.
Well, try working as a stage crew or a technician at the concert. According to my wife, I don't go to concerts, I go to productions.
It's like you don't really want to turn your hobby into a job. We have kind of done that a little bit with YouTube, but it's still, to me, making videos is a hobby as well. I love editing and putting all the parts of the video together, putting it all. That's, to me, almost, YouTube is almost a second hobby outside of ham radio to me.
Absolutely, Walt. And the thing is, though, I find probably equally as much calm and therapy and in editing a video as I do in soldering. And I've also become a lot better at planning what I'm going to do ahead of time and not let the video production aspect of it take over the joys of ham radio. I usually know where to put the camera and halfway what I'm going to do. So I spend as little time as possible doing that.
You're way ahead of me in that game.
I
think the first trick to have a video out is to have as less video recorded as needed, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Of letting the camera roll and then having to dig through the pile.
and also record in pretty much the same order as it's going to be in the video.
Yeah, try to do that. Like, I sometimes
say that because now I used to would not log and just film the video. I've found now that if I log while doing a video, that it makes it easier when I'm editing, because I can look at the time on the clip and the time in the log, and right away, okay, that's that one.
And now you got 7 minutes until the next one, so you can just make a
my
wide
log
cut
is
there.
important because I go into the log and I can see how many kilometers / miles away that person. I put that in my videos as well. So
I want to show something here, because we started off by talking about having a kit packed. And let's see if this is the right one. I'm just going to change cameras here. And since I reorganized the shack, I'm not completely done yet, as you can see. But I got this, I think it's a drink bottle holder here. That's my smallest portable kit. So in the outside pocket, I got a mic, I got some adapters and stuff. And then this is just how small you can make it if you don't have a lot of room. Got a tuner in here.
Wow, that's cool.
Got a 9-1. I got.
Waits until he pulls out the KH1. No.
No. I got a radio here, and I got.
Where's the battery?
Battery is in my car.
Well, there's a battery in the radio.
There's a battery in that radio. You're completely correct about that. So I could run it without battery. And I got a 9-1 here. And if you want to see how well this or not well this kit works, there's a video coming up in the next couple of weeks on how compromised you can be for running portable and what time do you reach the time where you're too compromised. And I can tell you that this is not the ideal kit for making an activation happen, but it does work.
Yeah, it's one thing that's to think about there is like, don't try to be perfect, at least when you're doing portable. And that goes into that, like making time for it, make stuff work, go out and have fun. Like, don't sit there and flick on that like millimeter precision on your 48 meter long end fed to get it perfect. Like, go out and make it work and have fun. That's also something about it.
That is actually a great point, because I got people ask me, is thing A better than thing B? Would you do it this way or that way? And I usually just say, have you tried any of those? And people usually say no. And then you're overthinking it, and you're so afraid of doing it wrong that you're not going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So that's one of my really strong points is just do something.
But just I have to say, if you're going to try and do something new, then maybe not do it on a summit that takes you 2.5 hours to walk up. That would be my suggestion. Do it in a local park.
Try it out somewhere where you have the chance to correct your errors first. It's like when I bought my RV, our first night camping was in our yard, because then we could go to the nearby store, also known as the kitchen, to get all the stuff we forgot to bring into the RV. And we learned a couple of good tips from just doing that. And radio is pretty much the same way, though. Don't test everything out in the most extreme situation, but try it out in a controlled environment and just make it work. But try it out.
Yeah.
And I see that we got Chris here put hashtag book in the chat here. And that is important, though. We have 39 people watching, and we have 14 people in the drawing. So put hashtag book in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I'd like to maybe share a quick picture of the opposite way of going compared to Morten. I can show you what's at least the last summer used to be in the trunk of my car. Let's see if we can. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's another way to go. But basically, I could probably run a small country with that communication equipment.
Actually, I got a Nissan Leaf, and there is no room for the family in that. So usually, when everyone's going along, we take the smaller car.
Yeah. I have a van, a caddy, and that usually has like quite a lot of random radio gear lying around. In it, so that's kind of handy.
Yeah, so I'm actually thinking about getting a car like that. Kjetil.
Do you have
like
a
a really nice
checklist,
car for ham
Bob,
radio.
where you check in the inventory, because this looks so organized?
No, the point is, if you just keep all your gear in the car, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you own it, it's in the car.
If your check is the car, then that's right.
This is my hotel room bed. The morning I was flying back from Kauai about almost 3 years ago. Morten, look, the loops there.
And I see you have a U-loop in there as well.
I took a U-loop. I took my medium wave loop. I took way too much. I flew all the way to Hawaii, of course, I was spending. I spent 15 days there, so I knew I'd be doing a lot. I had my medium wave DXing stuff. I had my shortwave listening. I had my. As you see, I took the 5105. Yeah, so yeah, don't do it that way, because that was a big lesson learned for me, though. I mean, that was, you don't need to carry that much. I could go back, probably do that all over again. I'd have that little bag you have, Morton.
Yeah, keep it simple, and don't be afraid to go QRP, but don't necessarily make too many compromises on antennas and tuners and coax when doing QRP.
And as to Steve's comment here, it's not really a problem as long as everything's legal. If the police wants to waste their time going through the trunk of my car, they're really, really welcome to. I'll just take one of the 3 chairs that's in there and put it up and sit in there and watch them. So
but as you see, there's we don't have that huge of a problem of people breaking into cars here, so we can actually usually leave pretty expensive stuff in the cars without it disappearing.
I would not leave much of that stuff if it weren't for the fact that the trunk isn't closed. If you could see that from the outside, I wouldn't trust my, let's say, neighbors to not break the window.
But I just realized something, though, and that's a scary thing. I've shown my license plate on YouTube, so perhaps I should reduce the number of things in my car now.
If you saw the video I have about my camera gear that I just put out, or didn't put out, but it's a preview in the closed channel. I filmed that, and it has some very visible stickers with my phone number and email on it. So I spent roughly an hour blurring out that because I was moving around it all the time, and so the auto tracking wasn't working.
But honestly, I've been thinking about this.
You can waste an evening blurring your number plate while the car is moving, right?
In Norway, all of us, we have our names on QRZ. Probably most of us have our addresses in the Norwegian registry. Who cares? If someone wants to know where we live, who cares?
Finding out where we live, we're hams. It's easy to find out where we live, even though if we don't have an address posted.
I've experienced from the QRZ thing, though, is I get phone calls, and I'm like, my phone number's not on there, and I don't have it out. How the hell do these people get my phone number? I guess, but I haven't gotten calls, you know what I mean? I don't answer them. So don't call me. I'm not going to answer. I'll text back and go, hey, you email me. I'm not going to, this is
when an unknown number call, you have to answer, Walt. It could be an important message from Microsoft. Bitcoin.
Here in the States, it's like your auto warranty is still,
Yeah.
I had this twice, and I was not sure because the guy calling had the strongest Indian accent as well. Yeah, it was like a parody.
So should we give the people a couple more minutes for the hashtag book? You can see it down here, hashtag book. Let's see, we're at 17 entries now, 37 people watching. Let's see if we can get it up to 20 in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah,
we have been pushing this book quite a bit before, so it might be that the remaining 20 already have it.
I will guess so. But talking about phone numbers, I remember a few years back Ben Heck show, if any of you remember that.
No.
Yeah, all of you should at least. Like American maker guy or Canadian or something like that. Really good, making lots of weird, fun stuff. And they showed the phone number of one of their assistants on stream or in the video. And of course, his channel was like, if you multiply my subscriber count with 1 million or something like that. But that person apparently didn't have a very nice few days.
That's I would think that 90% of the people calling was busybodies telling him you shouldn't show your name or your phone number on YouTube.
It's really dangerous.
So, but that also I don't think that channel was his channel. That was the Element 14 YouTube channel probably. So that's pretty huge.
I had a voicemail from an angry person that said they built an antenna that I built using the exact same things I did, and it wouldn't work, and they want to talk to me about how to make it work. And I'm like,
just send them the money back, Walt.
I got a fantastic comment on my on one of my short videos a couple of days ago. I don't know if you've seen it, the one where it seems like my heated seats resonates somewhere around 20 meters. So when I'm calling CQ, the LEDs on the heated seat switch flickers at the same way as I'm talking. And there's a guy that comments, you need to ground the radio and antenna. And I'm so amazed that he managed to do that advanced kind of troubleshooting from a 20-second YouTube short video.
Yeah.
And I'm sharing the solution, of course, Harry.
Earthing wire, very important.
Yes. But I see one issue there. There's no GFI.
What's a GFI?
Ground fault interrupt.
You better be careful how you show earthly things in plastic baggies. So you know what I
mean. Yeah, all right.
But seriously though, grounding is important. I know that professionally. When all the guitar players say, "Well, my amp does not make that noise in any other venue." Yeah, oh, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it does. Seriously, I'm pretty sure it makes that exact same noise.
Do you remember? Or you probably don't remember, but there was a music festival called 1001 Watts instead of 1001 Nights in Skien back a few years back, and they started getting sparks going between the strings on the guitars. Wow. They were running high voltage into the strings of the guitars. For some reason, and then they stopped the concert. Like, that was really strange as well.
It is strange.
That's why you keep everything grounded, though. Even though removing the ground might reduce some ground noise. If the guitar is not grounded and you touch the microphone with your lips, that is going to be the shortest way to ground. And that is not going to be that is not a good
day
thing
for you.
That is going to hurt.
You know, I go to the Tons of Rock, which is a heavy metal festival, and I would say that this would not be the weirdest thing you see on stage there.
Yeah.
No,
Bob, you're a heavy metal guy. Do you remember, or do you know it's still around, an American band called Exhorder?
No, I'm not really a heavy metal guy. I go to that festival because I enjoy the ambience and the music. But but no, I can't remember them.
I know the guys in the band. That's what I was asking. They've done a couple European tours. Let's get back on topic, though. I'm sorry.
We've come slightly off now.
Speaking about topic, though, we could not get it pushed up to 20 entries in the. Actually, we're up at 19 now. So no, 18. But 18 is good enough. Let's do the drawing here. Ooh. Nemesis 6, a new one. I think it's first time on stream. CQ at hamshow.eu. I think I got a banner pre-made for that. Somewhere. But send us an email and Kjetil will put that in the mail. And I can actually not find the banner here, so I'm going to make one here.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
It's
It's the joy of having two producers on the show.
I'd say 1.5 because I don't know how you did that scrolling thing, Morten, but very nice work there.
There's a little button that says scroll across the bottom.
There is indeed. Reading is a really, really useful skill.
That usually helps a lot when doing a lot of things.
Yep.
So, we got a lot of new subscribers this week, and I can see that on our YouTube stats as well. Except for the Ringway Manchester Andy Kirby stream, we're doing really well, and I think nothing can top having those people that has probably, I think they got 300,000 subs between them, or at least that. So for us, that's good.
Yeah.
There's been some nice chatting in the stream today or in the channel. So
And
that's
a
always
lot of new people, which is
That's
is really nice.
Yeah, I think we can thank the dude for that. So I
Yep.
think he's around. So thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
yeah.
Always good. And I see that Renee's coming to Norway soon. If you're coming to Norway, give us a shout. And if you're coming to Norway by car, at least some of us, depending on if you take a ferry or drive, will be nearby.
Yes.
Yep.
I think we live close to most of the ferry terminals there. So
I live really close to the largest border crossing in Norway by land. So a lot of people cross here. And you might, just a piece of advice, don't put a 17-foot, 5-meter whip on top of your car facing the other country. That might make some lights flash in your mirror. At least it did for me. And I got a video on it. I actually got 2 videos on it. So if you want to check that out.
Yeah, you're still a free man, so it's not really that dangerous.
No, it's not. Norwegian police are nice. But speaking about next week, I said we were going to go back to that. And I was thinking there was a suggestion or there was a question if we could share how we plan for PODA.
Yeah.
And I figured that would be a great stream next week. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a plan.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
we may even sneak in a bit of SOTA or other portable operation.
I mean, the planning is pretty much the same, though, but how to be prepared. And you had a good point, though, knowing where the parks and summits are nearby.
Yeah.
That is an important point. And I spend a ridiculously amount of time looking at the PODA map.
Yeah.
And looking at other map sources to figure out how to get to that park as easily as possible.
Oh yeah, can spend hours. So that's going to be a fun stream, and some of it is going to be very useful no matter where you live, and something may be more country specific. But I guess people will find out and learn about their own country.
Absolutely, but the thing about preparing, and I'm just going to say this as a teaser for next week, though. Don't overthink and don't overpack. I see on some of the other YouTube channels and Facebook groups, people take a ridiculous amount of gear out for portable.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning that,
probably
a
take
lot
a
of the
cheap out.
Americans that go for parks on the air activations, I think they park pretty much 2 meters from the park bench where they do the activation. It's really hard to
Still,
overpack for a situation like that.
I saw a picture on Facebook the other day. A guy was going out for his first activation, and he had 3 big suitcases, like the one you check in on airplanes
Yeah.
with gear.
That's like I
And then
showed
he
you.
had a couple of masks and a couple of pellet cases beside that. And I mean,
Just
you
a
don't need
moderate
that.
setup for average the expedition.
yeah, and
Did that
you're
picture
not,
of my-
you're not
my
going to do
hotel
it.
before I came back from Hawaii. That was 3 years ago. Over the last 2 years, I've been going back and forth to Poland. Man, I could get everything in one little bag on my shoulder. It's check on and we go. You know, so you learn. I think you learn that, and the guys you see that have all that stuff with them, they'll learn in time because it gets tiresome and really old carrying all that stuff for portable activations.
And Chris asked if we do PODA with only one setup, and I usually I might bring a couple of wire antennas if I'm walking into a park. If I'm driving, I usually got several options in the car, and sometimes he asks if we sometimes fail to activate, and I don't usually like to call it a failed activation. No, it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to know your equipment. And yes, I still do a video of the failure. When I showed my portable kit here, there is a video coming out on that exact setup where I try to make everything as compromised as possible on purpose, though. But I have videos where I forgot the battery. I have videos where I forgot to bring an antenna. I have videos where I call CQ for 45 minutes and get 1 QSO. So yes, I make videos of those as well, because not every activation is like you see my K8 MRD does.
Yeah, I have a video from once where I forgot my camera.
Yeah, but you usually you bring your phone
to the
though.
rescue, right?
That's
Yeah, I
that's
had my
impressive.
phone.
I got to say, I'm not as zen as Morten when it comes to this. I will easily call it a complete failure if I can't manage, especially for a summit. And I'm a eternal optimist, so I bring one radio, one battery, one microphone, one antenna.
one-
I think my favorite activation in that regard was walking in heavy, thick snow on snowshoes for 2.5 hours up a mountain. And it turned out that I had busted my FX4 CR.
wow.
So I walked for 2.5 hours or actually 2 hours in heavy snow on snowshoes down again, and I was not in a good mood that day. But, yeah,
I've had 2 failures that I would say because of equipment, and both times it's because G90 with the 239 connection in the back. I have 239 coax. I brought an infed half wave with me that was BNC, and I didn't have.
That is
Twice.
a
Oh, yeah.
classic.
I've done that, Walt, and what I did was tear off the BNC, split the cable, and just stick it into the back of the G90. That saved the activation.
I'm gonna, before we're a little bit on overtime, but I'm gonna show something here, and this is the Chinese tuner I've done a video on, and it has BNCs, and all my gear is SO 239s. So I might do some surgery on this, just to not have to bring adapters. Just
talking about portable operations, I do the surgery the other way. I prefer BNC for portable work. It's much easier to connect and disconnect.
Quicker, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's-
I'm considering doing that to the back of my G90. Put a BNC connector there and a power pole connector. And,
That would be I'll be honest with you, that'd be a really cool video. You need to document the whole process as you go along. I got a feeling you would. People want to see that. They really do.
And
yeah.
I just want to say though, Walt, that book that's going to your neck of the woods. I just checked my email here. It's going to Maryland.
Oh,
Yep.
cool! Not far away. What city?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, Maryland.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get that shipped out sometime during this coming week. So that's gonna be nice, and hope that's gonna get some nice use over in the States.
Absolutely. And speaking about testing things out, going portable, making time, I'm going to bring, this is the only radio I'm going to bring on my train ride. And I'm going to see if I can make any APRS work inside a train.
Yeah.
Which
maybe some WindLink as well. That would be fun to try.
That would be fun to try. 2-meter WindLink. Then I need to make that. I only got a MobileLink TNC2 though. That does not support iPhones. So I'll see what kind of gear I bring. But I got a WindLink kit around here that I also did a video on. So I might. That is a good idea. I'll look into that. I'll think about that.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it for now. We'll be back with how to do your first POTA activation, or your second, or your 157th POTA activation next week. We all have our own YouTube channels. They're linked down in the description. So give us all a sub if you'd like, or at least check our channels out. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching. 7-3.
7-3, folks.
7-3.
Have a good week.